Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Chad again with American Shaman of Keller. This week, or in this video rather, we're going to talk about tips on how you can improve your sleep in a natural way that's not aided by sleep aids or pharmaceuticals, things that aren't going to leave you, heavy the next day. Some of them are quick, easy fixes. Some of them are going to require a little bit more planning. But I promise you, if you start implementing more and more of these things into your daily routine and your sleeping behaviors, you'll be better for it on the other side. So how to get better sleep? First and foremost, sleep is a process, and it's sort of a wiring of the brain. And anything that we do over and over again, we have the ability to rewire and reprocess our body's functions and habits and things of that nature. And so one of the things that I think a lot of people overlook is consistency in their sleep and wake up times. Really what we're talking about is when you go to bed the same time every night and you wake up the same time every night, your body starts to begin to learn how to cycle through your awake and your sleep times. And then there's a lot of things that happen in the background hormonally that aid both of those processes. This is a quick way, but also one of the hardest ways of regulating your sleep. So, by the way, sleep and wake times it's not how long you're in bed, right? It's how long you sleep when you fall asleep, when you wake up, minus, by the way, any disturbances or restlessness. So a couple of things that go with sleeping on your sleeping schedules. We all work, a lot of us work Monday through Friday as an example. And, the very first thing you want to do on Saturday morning is what? Sleep in. Oh, I don't have to work today. I'm going to sleep till X time in the morning. And again, that inconsistency will really mess up everything that you've sort of worked on. So if your job requires you to wake up every day at 7 a.m., 6 a.m. or 7 a.m. to, for you to be on time at work, that means that even on the weekends, you want to stay on those same sleep schedules. You still want to wake up at the same time, 6 or 7 a.m., what time you normally do during the week. So consistency is key as it relates to sleep and awake times. All right, so what other things can help with sleep? Exercise. Again, kind of a no-brainer, but there's a lot of folks that don't have great sleep, and the moment that they start introducing an exercise regimen to their daily routine, they start improving their sleep patterns. So, and by the way, exercise can be a lot of things. It doesn't necessarily mean you're doing high interval intensity training or high intensity interval training. You're not doing CrossFit. It could be a brisk walk that takes you 30 minutes. It could be a basketball game that you played. It could be, exercise is exercise. But typically 30 minutes to an hour every day, your body is going to need to repair itself, and it will actually force itself into a better sleep cycle to help repair itself, and you'll actually recover faster and you'll feel better the next day. So exercise is one of those things that for some people it's a challenge. You got to find time in the day, but if you do it before the day starts or after the day ends, 30 minutes to 60 minutes a day can really have great impact on your sleep. All right, now this next one is a big deal, and it is a challenge for a lot of us. Electronic usage. And actually this in the next bullet point, which is blue light and blue blockers. So all electronics, screen devices, it could be TV, it could be your iPad or tablet, it could be your iPhone or Android device, it could be your laptop. All of these devices emit a certain type of blue UV, and it does a number of things to us. Number one, it's completely disruptive to our sleeping patterns. It also inhibits your ability to release serotonin and melatonin as you're trying to drift into sleep. So believe it or not, like you think that you're in bed and you're looking at your iPhone and you're reading the news and you're like, man, I need something to turn my mind off, and maybe this will help me become sleepy. Well, it might make you drowsy, but it's going to keep you from getting into those deep sleep cycles that your body really needs. So, and by the way, there's a number of other things that these electronics do. They, not to scare people, but from a visual perspective, these UVs virtually fry the inside of your eyes. And so again, not trying to scare you, but we want to limit our screen time, especially 30 to 60 minutes before we actually want to close our eyes and go to sleep. Some phones, by the way, there's like night shift. I think Apple has a night shift mode, and then Android, there's a blue light filter that you can apply. That's better than nothing. If you absolutely just can't put the phone down before you go to sleep, make sure that you're applying one of those filters on the screen. It will help, but it's not going to get you quite there where you need to be, but it will help. All right, the next one is the age of your mattress. How many of you are sleeping on a mattress that's 5, 10, maybe even old, more than 10 years old? And you start to get those lumps in it, and you try to rotate it, but you got that big hump in the middle if you're sharing a mattress with someone else. Not only is the mattress the dirtiest thing in your house because it houses dust mites and skin and just under a microscope, what you'll find in your mattress is absolutely disgusting. But we sweat on a couple of pounds a night on average for most people. Where does that stuff go? It goes in your mattress. But you need good spinal support both for your neck and your back. You need to be comfortable, and as those mattresses break down, it becomes increasingly difficult to get comfortable in bed and actually get into a good sleep. So take note of how old your mattress is and the quality and the state of that mattress. You may need to replace it. All right, this next one is a quick fix in my opinion, but it makes a big difference. At least it did for me. Dark out your room. Dark out your room. That means, your DVD player and your DVR and your TV, your cell phone chargers, all of those things that emit light. You want to block those out. I mean, if that means you get a little piece of electrical tape and you put it over there, I've actually done that. It works really well. If you can get blackout curtains to put above your windows so you're not getting any of the street light pollution into your room, all of those things play a part in darkening the room. Remember earlier I was talking about if you could, you just go out in the middle of nowhere and camp for a week. It's because when you're in complete darkness of nature, our minds and our bodies are in tune with the sun and the moon, if you will. And so if you could do everything you could to make your room as dark as possible, you will start to notice improvements in your sleep. All right. Caffeine loop and its half-life. So half-life basically means how long the caffeine is staying in the bloodstream and how long it has an impact on the body. Obviously, caffeine expands blood vessels, and that impacts blood flow. This to me was the no-brainer, right? Like, don't drink caffeine after a certain time of the day. If you're wanting to be in bed at say 9 p.m., you probably shouldn't have that cup of coffee after afternoon, right? I mean, I know a lot of people that after they go to lunch, their next stop is Starbucks, right? They don't want to hit that midday crash, and by God, customer drove by and was waving at us. You don't want that crash, so you go get some coffee and take care of that. That'll get you to to the next round. So be mindful of caffeine. Hydration is the sort of last point that we'll make about sleeping that are really good. Now, I don't recommend drinking a lot before you go to bed. That's not what I'm saying, because that's actually will end up causing more disruptions in the middle of the night for you to have to wake up and get out of bed and disrupt your sleep. But I am saying that you should try to make it a good point to stay hydrated throughout the day. So when you are awake, and your body actually is doing two things. Like I said earlier, it's rehydrating while you're sleeping. But it's when you're hydrated, your brain functions are much improved, and that has a direct impact on sleep. So let's talk about real quick on that disruption piece relative to drinking too much before you go to bed. So if you have to get up in the middle of the night, as most of us do, to use the facilities, what you want to do is make sure that if you can, if you've got to like a maze to go through before you get to the bathroom, I get it. You might need to turn on a little night light or the lamp on the side of your bed to be able to see your way. But if you've got a straight shot, or you know that you can confidently get to the restroom unobstructed and without stubbing your toe or falling down and breaking something, ideally you want to keep the lights off. So going back to keeping the room dark, if you can go into the restroom without turning the light on, if you can get to the restroom without turning the light on, again, it's sort of like the screen time that we were talking about earlier. Lights disrupt sleep. Anyways, those are 7 or 8 just quick tips. Make your room dark, be consistent with your sleep times, stay hydrated throughout the day, limit your caffeine intake, limit sugars, all of those things and the other ones that we talked about can all greatly impact your sleep. So if you have questions about the series so far, feel free to call us 817-678-6588, or you can visit us online at kellercbd.com. And as always, if you want to come into the store, we're happy to do a free consultation, give you some samples for free. We're at 5636 North Tarrant Parkway in Fort Worth, Keller area. Hope you guys are doing well. Have a good night's sleep. Happy health.